Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Here is my somewhat belated review of the newest entry into the Assassin's Creed universe. Now, this came out about this time last year, and I did get it. I think I got it about Christmas time last year. And I must be honest, I initially played it for a couple of hours and just thought, nah, it didn't grab me, and I wasn't particularly interested in what I was playing, so I ended up getting rid of it. And I don't normally do that with games after just a few hours gameplay, but maybe I was like everybody else and I was becoming increasingly stale to the Assassin's Creed games, because they kept churning them out year after year, and I think after Unity everyone was getting a bit fed up of it. So I just ended up getting rid of it. Now, I don't know why, but I got it again a few days ago now, and I got it because it was really cheap in the game shop, and I fancied a bit of a change, something new to play, and I thought, well, okay, I'll give it another go, because I've fairly much enjoyed most of the other Assassin's Creed games to a certain degree. So I bought it. And now I've been playing this one a good number of hours now, and I have to say, I'm really glad I've rebought it. It's really it's got me hooked, in a way that I don't think an Assassin's Creed has done before, other than perhaps Assassin's Creed 3. I really enjoyed the story of Assassin's Creed 3, and that's what kept me going. I think what I'm enjoying about this one is a number of things, chief of which is, I think, the environment. Because I'm from the UK, the London base is really nice to see. It's nice and refreshing. I like the era that the game is in. I like the Victorian era. It feels historical but modern at the same time, which I thought was a really nice twist. The characters, Jacob and Evie Fry, are both really interesting in their own right. Jacob's like the witty one, who's always going out and takes the most violent approach to everything. And Evie's the thinker. She's the one who tries to be clever about situations and is more interested in assassins, the assassin's history, and discovering artifacts, things like that. Probably the weakest element for me so far is the story, which is probably what gives a lot of the other Assassin's Creed games their strengths. The story, well, it's functional and it's fine, hasn't got me gripped yet, but where I think this game does excel in is, like I say, the activities within the environment. The London is like split up into districts, and your job as the assassins is to take over each district, and by doing that you kind of recruit gang members, and there's certain activities within the districts, things like freeing child slaves, taking down Templars, gangs, bounty hunts, all these sort of things. And the more of these that you take down in a district, eventually you will get to the gang leader of that district. You take that gang leader down, and then a gang war erupts, and if you win that gang war, then you then take over that district. That's a much filtered down way of explaining it, but it's quite nice how they do it. It's nice and varied. The mission structures are varied. None of them feel overly repetitive to me. I suppose my least favourite is the Templar hunt, where you have to hunt down a Templar, and most of the time you have to like restrain them and bring them back alive. It gets a bit tedious, that one. I just end up killing them, and then you get less of a reward, but it makes it much easier. So the structure itself and all the activities that you can do within London, I've spent most of my time doing that, and then it got to the point where I realised, oh, I better do some story missions here, because I'm not unlocking all the upgrades that I should be. So I started doing the story missions, but I spent a good 15 hours just unlocking districts and doing gang wars and things like that. And I was really enjoying it, and that felt more like the story to me. It was drawing me in more than the story was, so I was focusing on that. One of the other activities you can see doing on screen now is you can like hijack like supplies and take them to a drop-off point, and you'll get rewarded for that. There's loads of different accomplices that you work with, like Charles Dickens and Alexander Graham Bell and people like that, and it's really, really nice. They've always been good at this, the Assassin's Creed games, in that they bring in historical characters to within the games in a fictional setting, and they just make it more familiar and more fun. And this one hit home to me, obviously, because I'm the UK, and these historical figures are more prominent to us in the UK. They mean more to us. As you can see there on the map now, that's how it's split up. You've got your districts. The red ones are owned by another gang. The white ones are the ones that I'd already unlocked at this point. Those are like the missions, the main missions, the golden ones. The red ones, those are like the Templar hunts and things like that you've got to, and if you beat that bit, it unlocks another part of the section of the city that you will then own. So the city is huge. It does truly feel like an open world game. The environments and the atmosphere are just absolutely spot on. I mean, the graphics for me are absolutely breathtaking. I think they really, really are. You get a grapple gun now, which is really nice and useful. Kind of Batman Arkham Knight-ish, if you like, just not as free-flowing as that. But it's a nice addition. It brings a new mechanic into the game. Like I say, what I really like about this as well is that when you're walking around the city, you can see all the characters doing things. You can see some characters playing cricket. You can see all the market stalls, and they've all got authentic accents, like Cockney accents. The Thames, if you look there, it's absolutely filthy, dirty, muddy, and that's exactly what it's like. It would have been far worse then than it is now, and it's not very good now. There's loads of things to find, like treasures, chests and collectibles. There's a whole array of things that I think so far are making this game really, really enjoyable to me. I don't normally enjoy a lot of the side activities in the Assassin's Creed games, but apart from a couple of exceptions in this game, I enjoy them all here. So if you like, my final summary is Assassin's Creed Syndicate it's probably my favourite Assassin's Creed so far, and I think they've done a really, really good job of it, and I'm really, really glad I gave it another chance, and I suggest that you do too.